Do royal families ever make you curious? You might think that they are all very rich, right? Here's a twist though. Some royal families don't have as much money as you might think. You wouldn't believe it, but a few of them have had money problems just like the rest of us. Can you even think of that? We're going to talk about how hard it is for these royal families to make money. Even though you might not expect it, they are still thought of as royalty and enjoy many fancy things. 10. Bernadotte House. The royal house of Sweden, which is called the House of Bernadotte, is led by King Carl. The Swedish royal family is rich because they own land, make investments, and get money from the government. However, a 2020 report says that they still had a lot of money problems during this time. This happened because not many people came to see the royal house. In fact, the royal house made about $8 million in 2020, all of which went straight to the royal family. 9. The DLAMINI home. According to a report by Forbes, Eswatini, also known as Swaziland, is ruled by the King of Swaziland, Swati Ai. He is the last absolute ruler, which means he has full control over his country in Africa. Based on his yearly salary of $50 million, which came out of government funds, his net worth is thought to be $15 billion. King Maswati owns a financial company, but it is held in trust for the people of Swaziland, so he can't use it. 8. Glucksberg House. It is led by Queen Margaret Edu of Denmark, who is worth about $40 million, according to estimates. The Danish royal family has a lot of money because they own land, have shares in companies, and have their own private investment fund. They also get a yearly stipend from the government, which is about $12 million, to cover expenses related to their official duties. This means that the Danish royal family is also living off of government money, with the average citizen having to give $2.10 a year to the royals. 7. The Orange-Nassau family. It is led by King Willem-Alexander of the Netherlands, who is thought to be worth about $35 million. King William-Alexander works hard and spends a lot of time being king. Business Insider says that William-Alexander gives his family about $40 million a year to cover their costs. This fund pays for overseas trips and official visits, but it stopped paying for private flights in 2014. 6. The Oldenburg House in Norway. King Harald is in charge of the Norwegian royal family. The royal family of Norway has a net worth of $30 million right now. Every year, the Norwegian royal family gets a fund of $48.7 million. Of that, the king and queen get $1.4 million. The crown prince and princess get $1.1 million, and the rest is used for their upkeep, which includes things like their personal security and the costs of the official royal house. Also, Norway's royal family is so humble that even at big events, they dress just like everyday people. 5. Belgian House. The next country is Monaco, which is led by King Philip and has an estimated net worth of around 12 million euros. The Belgian royal family's wealth comes mostly from the king's private land and some crown-owned real estate. Also, the Belgian royal family gets $14.6 million a year to cover their costs. Most of that money, about $12.9 million, goes to pay for King Philip's official duties. 4. The country of Tonga. The House of Tonga is in charge of the Pacific, where King Tupou VI and his Tonga, the King Tupou VI royal family, only has a net worth of $5 million. When you think about how poor the rest of Tonga is, this doesn't come as much of a surprise. 1/3 of the people live below the poverty line, and an independent magazine says this story is even weirder. King Tut lost $26 million because of a man in California named Jesse Bogdanov, who was his financial manager and worked for Bank of America. 3. Spain. House of Bourbon-ANJOU. It is led by King Philip VI, who was one of the richest royals in Europe. But he looks poor compared to other royals. His wealth is about 2.2 million euros, according to royal records. He only has a savings account, a few antiques, and a few pieces of gold. King Philippe also doesn't have a pension plan for when he retires, and a portion of his pay as king must be taken out to pay his staff and cover other royal expenses. Because of this, King Philippe and the royal family need $8.8 million a year from the government. Our next stop is the ASANTE Royal House. 2. Royal House of ASANTE. King Otumfuo Osei Tutu Ayatutu is the second king of Ashanti Ghana. He rules over the gold-rich Ashanti country, which is home to the Asantes, the largest ethnic group in the country. He became king in 1999. Forbes says that the king has a net worth of about $12 million. The king also owns a sales company called Transpomic Ghana, which is thought to be worth about $12 million. The Stewa Royal House is run by the Royal House of Tewero. The poorest king on our list is the Maori King of Haiti. His net worth is unknown, but he does not have or ask for any of the riches or possessions that a normal king would. In fact, he lives in an area of New Zealand that is very poor. People say that he possibly only has about $336,000 in his bank account. People even said that King Tua's house leaked and he couldn't afford to fix it. The Maori king tries to avoid the cameras and instead focus on his people and their problems. So there you have it, the top 10 poorest royals in the world. Do you think it's fair that some royals have a lot of money and others don't? Tell us what you think in the comments. Also, click this subscribe button and the bell icon to get updates regularly.